Stacy, but I'm very soft-spoken, so if you can't hear me, let me know. Okay. Well, all I can do is be honest and tell you what I remember. Grew up in the projects, not ashamed of that. Mother's on crack, abusive boyfriends, so once he beats her up, she beats me up. Sexual abuse, physical abuse, ran away at age 14. Stayed at couch on the couch on the couch on the couch till I finished high school. Went to the military, graduated from college, and started my own organization. But along the line of all of that, I was depressed and I knew something was wrong. I was secretly trying to kill myself, but I kept surviving, so I didn't let anybody know. And I had great things going on in my life, but I couldn't understand why am I trying to kill myself. I was in Ebony magazine, Washingtonian magazine. The Today Show did a story on me, but I'm still trying to kill myself. And so I decided to see a doctor. And then I realized that after all of what I survived that I just shared with you, and I thought my life was great, I realized I was bipolar. Now, you know, in the black community, we don't deal with, suicide. We don't deal with psychiatrists and taking pills, and a lot of times we let our family members be our doctors, and they don't know any better, but they love us, and they say, stop taking them pills, they're gonna make you crazy like that girl across the street. And then you stop taking your pills. And then all of a sudden, I'm in a psych ward. I tried to commit suicide so many times, I literally lost count. I got permanent damage in my right hand because I had tremors. I got permanent damage in my right leg, I had tremors. And on a bad day, I had tremors in my mouth. So, while I was learning about my mental illness, I didn't leave it up to my family. There was 4 things I realized I had to do. Number 1, I had to get a good doctor and trust him. Number 2, I had to get a good psychiatrist and trust him. Number 3, I had to take my medication no matter what. And number 4, go to NAMI support group and learn more about my illness. So, there's 4 stages I've learned that some mentally ill people go through. The first 20% is 100%. Now, the first 20% die from committing suicide. Luckily, I survived that with just tremors. The next 40% have to live with their parents for the rest of their lives. The next 20%, they have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, PhDs, but they work at the grocery store. They work at the coffee shop. They can't function well enough to work in their field. And then the last 20% is super successful. So, the first 20%, which is suicide, been there, done that. Thanks to my tremors, best thing that ever happened to me is a constant reminder to don't do something stupid like that over something that was just temporary. Bad times are just temporary. I learned that through my therapist, not through my friends. Okay? Going to NAMI, I learned how to mourn and learn how to love myself and forgive myself. Number 3, go to my psychiatrist, talk to him. It's just between us. Nobody has to know. Number 4, take my medication. Nobody even has to know. So I went through the 20% where I tried to kill myself. I'm out of there. So the 40%, I started living with my aunt. She needed the extra money. It was quiet, nobody came to visit her. I could work on myself. And then I emerged out of moving out of her house when I was strong enough. And I have a college degree. And remember I told you some of us work in grocery stores, work at Starbucks. Well, I was a bouncer. believe it or not. So it wasn't my field. I wasn't a bouncer, but it helped me deal with different personalities. Well, I'm no longer a bouncer. So now that last 20%, the super successful 20%, oh yeah, I'm just sticking my toe in the door. Because I'm a visual artist, and my art prices start off at $7,000 at the lowest, and go up to 12 to 15 at the highest. But I never could do that if I didn't go to NAMI. Mourn, forgive myself, learn more about my illness, trust my doctor, trust my psychiatrist, and take my medication. Oh yeah, and get the right amount of sleep. Now, what I learned from my therapy was, don't matter when you grew up, positive thoughts equal positive circumstances. Negative thoughts equal negative circumstances. If you have positive thoughts, you can change your circumstances. Everybody in this room is where they are today from their thoughts. And you know you can change your life when you're ready. Then nobody goes to jail or commit crimes or try to commit suicide with positive thoughts. Those negative thoughts. So I learned that I could use positive thoughts, change my circumstances, and that's how I stopped committing suicide. But last but not least, I gotta say it, I feel God punished me for that stupid act. He gave me tremors that I'll never forget. Best punishment in the world. Because it's a constant reminder of not doing that stupid act again. If I didn't have tremors, I probably would commit suicide again. If I'm not in the right state of mind. But these tremors are a constant reminder. A constant reminder to never do it again. So now, I talked about the bad part. Now let's talk about the good stuff. Through that punishment, I've also been blessed. Gosh, I've been blessed to live and breathe life again, to start all over again. I've also been blessed because I had 3 failed marriages based on my bad experience with my mother. I tried to love these women like I tried to be the man that I thought my mother needed, but they weren't my mother. But through the therapy that I received, I learned how to love myself, and I found someone to love me for me. I got a beautiful wife. Our relationship is amazing. I have someone that loves me. I learned how to love myself. And thank God, I'm left-handed. So, now, my doctor told me, I told my doctor, these pills are taking my autistic talent away. He said, I promise you, keep taking your medicine, it'll come back. It'll come back better. I trusted him. Remember I said you have to trust your doctor. My artistic ability not only came back, it came back better. I'm bipolar. There's 2 sides to being bipolar if no one knows what that means. There's a manic side, there's a depressed side. And that manic side, you feel like you're Superman. You feel like you can do anything, you can hear voices. Some of us even believe in God. Now when you feel like good, would you take your medication? That's why we stop taking our medication. But what goes up must come down. And when you come down, woo, that's when suicide comes. So I'm bipolar 1. I'm more manic and less depressed. So I'm more energized. And then there's bipolar 2 where you're more depressed and less energized. But, like I said, my work's bipolar. It has 2 sides. When you're manic, it's colorful, it's movement, it's beauty. That's the front of my painting. The back of my painting is more depressed, more dry, but still interesting. Since I experienced physical abuse and sexual abuse, I didn't like people to touch me. I just didn't trust people. If you were a child or an elderly person, you can hug me, but everybody in the middle, I didn't like them to touch me because I thought they had a sexual agenda. So I didn't like people to touch me. but I was starving for affection. So I paint with texture. And whenever you see texture, you want to touch it. So I love people to touch my artwork. You're not supposed to touch artwork, but I love people to touch my artwork because when you touch my artwork, you touch me, and I feel thankful and hopeful that my story has touched you. Now, here's my artwork, and please, I hope everyone in this room touches my work so I can feel touched. I'm Larry B. Quick. Thank you.